So it's now been 3 years since Geely came, into the picture for Proton, and there has actually been positive development. So what do you think has been the biggest change to Proton?
Okay, so if we just look at 3 years ago when Geely took over half of the stake in Proton, I think two major things. Obviously, they have to change the company culture. Secondly, they have to make Proton, to be known as a quality car again. Because I mean, over the years, some people have been saying, the quality of our national car is not good enough. But he really makes sure that the quality has improved a lot. At the same time, company-wise, they all have a very clear direction. What they want to accomplish, basically, is to turn around Proton.
So you spoke to Dr. Lee Chun Rong, right? How is he as a person? Does he give you the conviction that he has a clear future path for Proton that has been troubled for so many years?
To me, the answer is absolutely yes.
Okay.
He did give me that kind of, that feeling, and
Right.
I think today Proton really he really give Proton the soul, so called.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I mentioned earlier, they really have a very clear direction. I think when Dr. Lee first joined the company, he made it clear to his staff that from now onwards, your salary, your increment, your bonus, everything, the money that you get, it has to come from the cars that we sell to our customers. So you can no longer expect that, the money that you get is from the shareholders. It doesn't work that way anymore. So I think that is exactly why after Geely take over Proton since, 3 years ago, on the record they told us that they didn't receive any financial assistance from the government. And I think that is the biggest changes that he has done,
He has always said that, one day Proton is going to be number one, right? And they are working hard at it. But what would you say is Dr. Lee's biggest strategy for Proton right now?
Of course, he's not number one yet, but I think first you need to get a strong foothold in Malaysia. Next, they have to do exports. So from what we gathered, he say in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, he is going to sell 250,000 units of cars, and of which 40% will be exports. And this is 40%, if you think about it, it's quite substantial. Because now they are exporting less than 1,000 units a car a year.
Right. Proton, as we know, is more than 30 years old, but its success has been limited. There have always been issues with their cars. So, what do they have to do next?
I think first thing first, like you said, previously there have been issues about Proton cars, right? I mean, some people even mock at it, but obviously he did the first thing right. He made sure that Proton today, it can be known as a quality cars again. I mean, Megan, I'm sure you know some car writers and friends, right? So we all know that all these car writers, they have rather high expectations to cars, even when they went for the media trip to those luxurious cars. They always skeptical. They have always been skeptical about certain features of the car. This is not good enough, right? But from what I've heard, when they went for the launching of Proton cars, actually they are quite impressed with the Proton cars. They were quite surprised that Proton, after Geely took over, it can be a very good car. So I think quality-wise, he can now confidently say that Proton can actually produce quality cars. But what's next? I suppose new energy vehicle is something that he is looking at. But this one, he need to get government support, he acknowledged. Because like what we see in other countries, US, Thailand, government do give incentive for car makers to explore this market segment.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Age Weekly at all good newsstands.